CISA red team's operations against a federal civilian executive branch organization highlights the necessity of defense in depth. So yeah, basically they're talking about a pen test they did in early 2023. Overall, it's a pretty good read.
I've seen some CISA pen tests that are pretty solid, but I've also seen a bunch of them that are literally Nessus results.
I definitely support the government giving out free pen tests. Of all the things they could give out, like to the people who can't afford pen tests or don't know how or whatever, I'm here for it. It also, from my perspective, gives us a chance to say, oh, you had a CISA pen test? We're about to blow your mind. AT&T, people might have heard of it, large telecom company, 110 million customers had their records disclosed. Is this tied to Snowflake? I feel like it's gotta be Snowflake.
Yes, it is.
I think Snowflake was the solution to a business problem, and the security team might have been cut out of that discussion altogether.
Security teams are like, we're using Snowflake? What the hell is Snowflake? And it's not that it's getting swept under the rug. It's just somebody at some part of the company needed a thing, and they bought that thing. And
Shadow IT.
A shadow IT.
Well, it's the third-party risk management thing, right? We talked about it at the beginning of the year as being the CISO's worst nightmare. I think when the business team goes asking, a lot of the time the answer is yes, and it doesn't go through security. It's just, oh, you guys need a data lake? Well, Snowflake's going to work. Okay, cool. The FTC published a study that talks about dark patterns, manipulative design techniques that put users' privacy at risk. Essentially, it's like behavior mining. I think the example that gives in the thing is like how hard it is to cancel Amazon Prime. Like I've heard that at one point the code name for canceling Prime was Operation Labyrinth because it was very difficult to cancel. They have these fun little names: sneaking, nagging, obstruction, making it more difficult or tedious to take a certain action like canceling a subscription or bypassing the sign up for free trial, where the X to close is grayed out and hidden from view. So it's like all those tactics. We're all used to them because the internet sucks. But the FTC is actually giving them names and saying, hey, let's not do this, or let's at least expose what people are doing to make it more transparent. The Heritage Foundation is a significant and notable right-wing think tank. Gay furry hackers, self-described, hacked them, and they disclosed a bunch of data. It's hacktivism, right? They don't like the Heritage Foundation. They don't like the whole Project 2025 thing. All I got to say is furries are clearly up there with like APTs for being insanely good hackers because they've taken down some big targets.
Do you think they hack in full gear?
I hope they do.
They have like big keyboards too.
If they don't, I would be so disappointed. The main guy of the Heritage Foundation was, I think it's like Mike Howell or something. The funny thing is, if you go to his page on the Heritage Foundation, the last article he wrote for the Heritage Foundation was, how do we disarm the FBI? And now he's going to have to go to the FBI and say, hey, can you catch these gay furry hackers?
That's going to be an awkward meeting.
They talk to the FBI agent who agrees to help them. As the FBI agent walks away, the Heritage Foundation man sees the tail of the FBI agent.
Okay, let's talk about Club Penguin. It was an MMO from 2005 to 2018. It was originally created by New Horizon Interactive, which Disney later purchased. They posted to 4chan and said, I no longer need these, smiley face, linking to a bunch of internal documents that they hacked from Disney's Confluence server. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a non-story. Like, basically, they just leaked a bunch of documents and, like, it's been shut down for, like, 5 years, so whatever.
Is this directly linked to the Disney Slack breach?
I don't know.
Did you see that?
It doesn't say.
The Disney Slack breach was huge.
A group called No Budge published on Friday that they got 1.1 terabytes of internal archive of Disney Slack. It has images, login credentials, links to internal websites, and API creds. No Bulge also posted what appears to be detailed information about the individual who was seemingly providing the insider access and the data lake.
So they had an internal source, and then they just completely doxed them.
So this is why you make those channels completely private to only the people who are in that channel.
Should we talk about NSA data leak? Well, it says massive, but it says 1.4 gigs. Like, I'm like, massive in the floppy disk era, that's massive. It seems kind of like a bold claim, but then it turns out it's just a CSV with like nothing in it. So looks like a database.
Full names, emails, office numbers.
Yeah, it could definitely be like targeting for social engineering. Although I feel like calling up an NSA agent being like, hi, this is the NSA IT help desk. We need to reset your password.
Join us for live InfoSec news every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Black Hills InfoSec YouTube channel.